It's late. You shouldn't be out alone.
She smiled. Who were you talking to just now?
Aiden
reached for an excuse.
That was the office. They just needed my approval on a few things.
Charlotte looked slightly suspicious. Can I jump in? She brushed her hair behind her ear. Aiden nodded, and she climbed into the passenger seat. She studied his shirt, stained with wine. Oh my God, what happened to you? She giggled flirtatiously.
Aiden scoffed. Oh, this? It's nothing. A waiter spilled on me.
There was an awkward silence between them. Finally, Charlotte spoke up. So, do you have any plans this weekend?
No, not really.
Oh, well, would you maybe want to hang out and do something? We could go have a picnic, maybe.
Aiden felt his heart pounding. If she's here when Hans calls about the meeting, she might start to suspect something's up. I've got to get her out of here.
Aiden glanced down at his phone, waiting for it to ring. Aiden, did you hear me? Charlotte placed her hand on his arm.
Sorry.
Aiden stashed his phone for a moment.
Yes, a picnic sounds great.
Charlotte smiled. Great. Well, I'll call you tomorrow then. Aiden nodded, trying to hurry her out of the car.
Yeah, absolutely.
He said nothing else. Charlotte blinked for a moment before taking the hint. Okay, well, I guess I'll talk to you then. She climbed out of the car, an air of confusion about her. As she left, Aiden breathed a sigh of relief.
That was a close one. I'm glad Hans and Derek didn't call yet. I wonder how it's going.
Meanwhile, Derek entered Hans' hotel suite, leaving Vanessa just outside in the hall. As he did, Hans tapped his foot.
I've been waiting. Apologies. Your men had to search us before we could enter.
Derek scoffed, sitting down in an armchair across from Hans.
Plus, I had to make sure we weren't followed. You shouldn't have moved the location last minute.
Hans scowled.
Like you said, I also had to make sure we weren't being followed.
There was a moment of silence before Derek spoke again.
We need to finalize this deal. Tonight. I don't have time to beat around the bush. I need to make this deal to save my skin.
Hans smirked.
Well, good thing the buyer's right around the corner. We'll have your money ready for you.
Derek breathed a sigh of relief.
Good. I've already booked my ticket out of here. Tonight. Running away?
Hans poured a glass of champagne.
No,
Derek stammered.
I just need a vacation is all.
Hans' eyes narrowed.
Very well. Do you have the documents?
He extended his hand impatiently.
Signed, sealed, and delivered.
Derek pulled the paperwork out of his briefcase and handed it over reluctantly. Hans inspected it all carefully, grinning.
Very good. Okay, now let's talk money.
Derek leaned back in his chair.
I don't have all night, you know. Who's this mysterious buyer you've been talking about anyway?
Hans sneered.
All in good time, Mr. Klein. All in good time.
Hans finished examining the documents. Once he was done, he turned back to Derek.
Very well. Shall I get the buyer on the phone then?
Derek leaned forward with anticipation on his breath.
Yes.
Hans pulled out his phone. He dialed Aiden, waiting patiently for him to respond. Meanwhile, Aiden's phone rang in his car. He saw that it was Hans. He answered, being sure to switch on his phone's voice modulator feature. Hans spoke first.
Good evening, sir. I'm sitting here with Mr. Derek Klein. Shall we discuss the purchase of Daring Industries?
Aiden's voice echoed through the phone, sounding incredibly deep.
Yes, let's get down to brass tacks. So, I hear that your company is worth hardly anything these days, is that right?
Derek's face fell.
What Who told you that?
Aiden smirked.
From what I hear, if we do buy your company, we're basically going to have to start from scratch. Lay off all the staff, organize new hires, strip it for parts, the works. I'm afraid if that's the case, we're not going to be able to make as big of an offer as you might be anticipating.
Derek began to sweat.
I'll take what I can get, sir.
Aiden laughed.
Good. We'll buy the remaining shares for 10% of their original value.
10%?
Derek gasped.
You can't be serious. That's barely enough for me to live on.
He glanced up at Hans.
What kind of game is this?
Do we have a deal, Mr. Klein?
Aiden smiled mischievously on the other end of the line.
No, we most certainly do not have a deal.
Derek stood up in the hotel room, pacing back and forth.
You've got to be kidding me. Here I am thinking you guys are going to save my ass, and meanwhile, you're just trying to gouge me for every last penny.
Aiden exhaled sharply.
Don't make me angry, Mr. Klein, or I'll lower my offer to 5%.
Derek froze. He sat back down on his chair. His face grew bright red.
Fine. You can have Daring Industries for 10% of the original value. I accept.
Aiden grinned.
Very good, Mr. Klein. You're making the right decision, my friend.
Hans snapped his fingers. As he did, a lawyer approached Derek, clutching a thickly bound contract. Hans pointed to the signature lines.
Here, use mine.
He handed Derek a pen. He trembled as he accepted it, signing his name on the page. As soon as Derek was done signing, Hans snapped his fingers again. The lawyer gestured to a notary, who notarized the document instantly. Meanwhile, Hans slammed the briefcase shut, handing off Daring Industries' paperwork to one of his armed thugs. Derek stammered.
But I thought I would retain at least my paperwork. Don't I get to at least have my name still on the company? As founder, after all.
Hans shook his head.
I'm afraid the nature of this deal has changed. We're taking Daring Industries and folding it into our larger business operations. Those papers are on their way to the buyer right now.
Derek exhaled heavily.
Well, I guess that's that. Pleasure doing business with you, Mr. Klein.
Hans smiled wickedly. Derek nodded, standing up and preparing to exit the hotel room. He gathered his things and headed for the door. As he did, however, Hans stopped him.
Oh, Mr. Klein. One more message for you, actually.
Derek turned on his heel.
A message? From the buyer?
Hans nodded.
Yes, as a matter of fact.
Derek stepped further into the hotel room.
Well, what is it?
Hans smirked.
He wants you to know that you just signed your entire life away to the tiger, Mr. Klein.
Derek's eyes went wide as Hans laughed wickedly. Derek grabbed the briefcase of business documents and made a beeline for the door. How will Derek react to being told that the tiger bought his company? Will Lazarus help Aiden keep his identity a secret?
Wait, that's not the end. You've just had a free taste. Now get the full story on the Pocket FM app, link in description. Check out our next video and playlist, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.